Hi, welcome to episode 25 of Pink's Picks Recommendations from a Retired English Teacher. Today's title, An American Marriage, is the fourth novel by award winning author Tayari Jones. She lives in Atlanta, where much of this book is set, and she's also a creative writing professor at Emory. Jones uses the same premise seen in If Beale Street Could Talk, which I discussed in episode 13, but she drives the plot in a completely different direction than Baldwin does. She begins with an epigraph by poet essayist Claudine Rankin. What happens to you doesn't belong to you, only half concerns you. It's not yours only. Jones builds on this idea by having three rotating first person narrators: the imprisoned Roy, his wife Celestial, and Roy's college roommate and Celestial's childhood neighbor, Andre. I love the voices of all three. The cover art depicting a tree symbolizes both the family trees of each protagonist, whose background we learn through flashbacks, and a 128-year-old hickory tree that divides the property line of two of our characters. I find the chopped trunk very Chekhovian, and appropriately so, as it appears in the text. I love Jones's opening sentence. There are two kinds of people in the world: those who leave home and those who don't. I'm a proud member of the first category. The first sentence, of course, despite its common usage, the juxtaposition followed by a generalization serves as a great hook. Other maxims sprinkled through the story as Roy, particularly transitions from static to dynamic character, I love as well. For example, home isn't where you land, it's where you launch. Memory is a queer creature, an eccentric curator. There is a certain type of Christian woman who can't resist a godless man. I don't believe that blood makes a family. Kin is the circle you create. And lastly, you can never really unlove somebody. Maybe it changes shape, but it's there. I love Jones's well-placed allusions and references to Black TV shows, musicians, athletes such as A Different World, Prince, the stylistics Otis Redding, Muhammad Ali, and Tiger Woods. I love her hair motif, and her comic relief made me laugh out loud. An essay by Jones titled This is a Love Story appears in the back, and she writes, my characters are three people in love with home, family, freedom, and each other. They are also three people in pain. Some of their problems they brought upon themselves, others were dropped upon them. Some of their worries are recent, and others are brittle as history. But today they find themselves at a crossroads, and like every human being on earth, they walk their paths heart first. I give this book an A. Next time, I will be talking about Jacqueline Woodson's Red at the Bone. Until then, please stay safe, keep reading, and do your homework. Bye-bye.